Alrighty, it's May 1st. How's everyone doing? I gotta say, I'm doing really good today. I'm just feeling better. And I think it may be attributed to just my past. Just how good I did for myself yesterday and how well I've done for myself today so far. And I feel proud. You know, even if just 2 days worth of improvement makes me feel good today. Imagine if I kept consistent, how much better I would get over time. Now, I also don't want to get too ahead of myself or get too excited or set too high of expectations, considering in the past, too, I have also I don't need to walk backwards. Considering in the past, I've journaled and I've cleared my mind, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do so well for myself, and then I get on the good path for a little bit, and I slip right back off in the bad habit. Maybe I should walk backwards. That glare is kind of intense. So yeah, I mean, that could be why I'm feeling good right now. You know, yesterday I journaled a lot and cleared my mind up and set my mind straight on what I want to do and achieve. And past few videos I made were just me regarding my slip-ups and just showing my honesty, and because I think honesty is important about slip-ups. But when I said that I wanted to do better for myself too, I mean, I always do. I always have. It's like in the past, I've always been like, okay, I'm going to do these things and I'm going to stay on this. But this time around, I changed it to where I didn't say what I was going to do. I didn't tell myself what I was going to do. Of course, I know what I need to do to be my best, but I just was simply noting down what I've done, the mistakes I've made, my past patterns. I said that in the video too. The video is basically a summary of what my notes are like. Like, my notes are a lot. And I just said, if I want to feel better, these are the things that I would have to do. And if I want to start setting myself on protocols to improve, I would need to slowly improve, which I think is still the more ideal option long term. Like right now, I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm feeling good, but I'm not going to set this as my baseline, because I know that if I get demotivated or within a couple of weeks, I could slip right back off. So I think I need to set like just a minimum requirement for myself, and if I want to aim for higher, go for it. But to just set a minimum baseline for myself, what I should be doing. This car is driving by, in case you can't hear him, which I'm sure you guys can. Alright. So, yeah, set a minimum baseline. Like, for example, I haven't even set a protocol for myself to do yet. So I could realistically still do anything. I could stay up late on the screens. I could fucking stay in bed for too long in the morning. I could be eating junk, which I would still personally feel bad about. But it's not like I've set myself out to avoid doing those things at the current moment. Yes, I would still be disappointed as hell. I would still be disappointed because, I want to be aiming for better, and I feel like I could be at a better spot right now. Have I just ensured long-term progress in the past, which now I think I've finally reached that kind of point of defeat. I wouldn't say it's a point of defeat, but it's like when I can't think. When I I lost my train of thought. Yeah, in the past, I lost where I was at. I don't know where I was at. But anyways, yeah. I felt good the past couple of days. Yesterday I went on a hike first thing in the morning. I ate right after. Just meat, eggs, and a little bit of fruit was all I ate. That was all that I ate for the day. Because by the time I got kind of hungry again, it was already like 7 p.m., which is close enough to the time I went to bed that's where I was like, I'll just hold off. Again, not making it a requirement for me to fast or anything, but I just naturally did it. I think me clearing my mind and just being in a better headspace and a better mood I think just me being in a better mood and a better headspace and having my intentions for myself clear just kind of naturally drove me to do that better. I could be motivated at the moment too. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Because motivation, is a big initiation fuel for when you want to do something. But again, I don't want to set any expectations for myself. I don't want this to be my base. I would like if this was my baseline. I'd like if I could just cold turkey into doing my good habits and just stay on that for the rest of the time, right? To the best of my ability, of course, assuming life doesn't get in the way, of course. One of my favorite hobbies at the moment is a later night hobby, line dancing. I'm not giving that up at all. So I guess got to work to the best of my ability around that. Without line dancing, I think I think my mental health would be kind of poor, and I wouldn't have that source of excitement and work in my brain and community. A drive to do that every night that I do. So again, just working around that really. So yeah, today got me really thinking about what I'm gonna do to be wealthy in the future, my long-term wealth and what I want to do. And it's I'm uploading to YouTube just because I think making a living off of YouTube would be very nice. To just as one of my buddies described it, I could be anywhere in the world and with a Wi-Fi signal, I make my own schedule and I could just upload. As long as I have a massive following and massive viewing, making money off of it. Of course, I'm not there now, and I won't be for a long time, even if I'm consistent. I just want to ensure that I'm uploading consistently. I think I need to. That reminds me. I guess I haven't had to consistent upload schedule. I'm uploading, every 2-3 days at the very minimum lately, which I think is ideal. Not ideal, but at least I'm uploading rather than not. I'm just fucking throwing the camera in my face and speaking my mind. But I think I need to set the minimum upload schedule to, at least once a day. Sometimes I have no excuse to not upload, but when there's times where I've slipped up and I'm not making any big progress, big changes in life, it's when I upload, what am I going to talk about? It's going to be the same thing. That's what I feel like, is that I've just been talking about the same thing every time I upload, which is why I also reflect on what I'm doing in life in general, and it tells me that I'm making, I don't want to say no progress, but I want there to be something new every video. And granted, I don't have to only just talk about my life experience. and like what goes on in my day to day, I could, actually make different content, which, now that I say that out loud, now that I think about it, that's an idea for me. I just kind of came on here with the idea of just, for starters, to speak my mind, but, if I want to make a long-term income from YouTube, I have to make a massive following, and in order to do that, I need to attract that following. And I'm not going to just try to do something to get views. How do I phrase it? Of course I want views, I want followers, I want to make some sort of income from this. What I mean is, my intention has to be pure, which it is. I think every YouTuber who's big, maybe not every, that's a big word to use, but most YouTubers who have a big following and are gaining some wealth from YouTube, they're certainly, I'm sure they wouldn't be doing it at least with some intention of, wouldn't be doing it without some intention of gaining some income from YouTube. No matter how pure one's intentions are, it's like, yeah, might as well make it another source of income, like influencers. Like, I want to upload things like not only my experiences in life and what I want to do, but I have my opinions, my beliefs, and what I want to teach, or what I want to say, what I believe anyway. And I've been on my self-improvement journey for a couple of years now, and progress is slow, but it is sure. I am making progress, to be realistic. I've made a lot of progress since I started self-improvement, realistically. And I always talk down on myself in every video because I've set the expectation that I can be consistent when the progress I've made has been inconsistent, but it's been there. So I guess I could give myself a little pat on the back for at least wanting to do better and being conscious of wanting to be doing better, which maybe a lot of people my age aren't. Not to try to make myself seem better than everyone, but maybe a lot of people my age aren't conscious of wanting to do better or aiming for it. And of course I want to do better and I'm aiming for it, but I'm not consistent with my discipline in doing better. So not everyone's perfect. Of course everyone is self-conscious. Everyone's got insecurities in some way, shape, or form. I got a lot. That's fine. But I think being open and honest about that kind of thing is how you'll overcome those kind of things. But I definitely want to, as someone who started my self-improvement journey through listening to self-improvement influencers like Hamza Ahmed and Iman Gaji. I probably butchered those names just a little bit, but when you grow up fatherless, you realize through influencers of all people that you grew up kind of with a lack of a parent or parents. I grew up with my mom, so I always had my mom, so I had that. I've experienced that side of the spectrum, but not much from my dad. What I'm getting at here in general is because my experience is that I discovered that I've grew up without one of my parents, and I discovered that through an influencer who put that realization into my head. I feel like I have a duty to now help spread my experience and spread that message as well, because what I want to upload here is health and fitness in general, But I also want to talk about topics like that, which I do believe in young men's self-improvement nowadays, because young men of today's society, me included, have been weakened and are weakened. So I definitely, when I have my talks, I just speak about my experiences and like what's going on in my daily life. I definitely like to get into more nuanced topics as well. That's the kind of following I want anyways, people who can learn something from here, something to help improve the world, which is what I'm all about, improvement and better living and better society, really. I'm all for that. Oh, I'm not gonna cross here. I've just been walking for 16 minutes now. I'm near the road, so I'm probably gonna shut off the video now. And I've already gotten a lot of what's on my mind off my mind. But yeah, I feel better the past couple of days. Definitely want to aim to do more, but I'm gonna make sure my progress is sure more than it is quick. Because quick progress is sometimes no progress at all when quick fails. Alrighty. I'll be back tomorrow. So see you later.